Hey guys, welcome to week 8. So this week you're going to focus on how to estimate for unknown parameters. So let's just remind ourselves of two very specific parameters that we're going to be focusing on in this class. And those parameters are the population mean and the population proportion. So if you're not familiar with what a mean is and what a proportion is, go all the way back to week 1 and take a look at the first video I posted on Introductory to Statistics and make sure that you're comfortable with the difference between a mean value versus a proportion. So oftentimes in the real world, we don't know the actual mean value or the actual proportion because it's very difficult for us to survey the entire population. But we want to know what is happening at the population level. So how can we still estimate for what's going on at the population level when we can't survey the whole population? And the answer is we take a look at a random sample taken from the population. So let's say, for example, I'm interested in the population of BSN students in the United States. So we're talking about every single student who is in a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing program in the United States. And let's suppose that we want to know the mean GPA of our sophomore year BSN students. So I'll indicate that our population parameter here of interest is, let's say, the GPA of our BSN students. And let's say a proportion of interest is we want to know what proportion of students who are registered in BSN programs across the United States are male. So I'm sure you guys have an intuition that nurses are typically female, so the population of male students in the BSN programs is probably going to be smaller. And so we'll call that P. So I'll call that the percentage of male students. Okay. So again, these parameters are typically unknown, so I'll put a question mark next to them. Again, they're unknown because rarely are we able to survey the entire population. So what is our next best thing? Our next best thing is to take a look at a random sample. So suppose that out of convenience, I'm going to just sample students here at JU because I could go to the registrar's office and get the GPA of all sophomore year BSN students here at JU, and then I could also figure out what percentage of those BSN students are male. So let's suppose from our sample, and I'm not really sure how big our BSN program is here, so I'm going to make up some numbers. But from our sample here, let's say out of, I know it's much bigger than 100, but let's just say out of 100 students, we find out that the mean GPA of our sophomore BSN students here at JU, so let me draw a little circle here, our sample. Let's say your GPA is a 3.75. So on average, BSN students in their sophomore year here at JU have an average or a mean GPA of 3.75. And then let's also calculate the sample proportion, which represents the proportion of students who are male. And let's suppose that out of 100 students, let's say that 13 of them are male, so 13 out of 100 means that approximately 13% of BSN students here at JU are male. So what we want to ask ourselves is, right, from our sample data, right, how good can our sample statistics, so our sample mean here of 3.75, that GPA value, how well does that estimate, right, at the population level, okay? And can we use that value to estimate the population mean value? Same thing with the sample proportion of 13%, okay? How good of an estimation is that? And can we use that to estimate for the unknown population proportion at the population level? So you're gonna learn techniques in this chapter on how to use sample data to estimate for unknown population parameters and also how to estimate it with some level of confidence. So this is where 95% confidence intervals come into play. If you want to have more confidence, so you want your estimation for these unknown parameters to be more precise and more accurate, then you increase your confidence level. So maybe we increase it from 95% to 99%. And hopefully you'll see how that affects your confidence interval when you're estimating for these unknown parameters, when you change that confidence level. So for this week, you're going to be focusing again on just those two parameters, mean values and proportions. Written assignment 3 has been moved from last week to this week. So you'll also see 3 questions for that written assignment. I'm also in the middle of grading your first exam. So once those are complete, complete it, I'll release the solution, and you can go in and read my comments to your specific exam. Okay, I hope you guys all have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.